Probably helps if I click on this. There is bonus content. Maybe we'll look at that afterwards a little bit. Sound options. That's fine. Control, game options, compass on, hints off, interaction hints off. We're keeping the same as before. Alright, let's start Soul Reaver 2.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never contain such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? As such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan, Kain. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel. And his enemies even closer.
That's not exactly how that happened, but okay, it's close enough.
Serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil.
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nazgul from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are open, Kain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
Look at all the hand-to-hand combat that didn't happen.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Sarafan were noble, altruistic? Oh, don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours. This is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
Redeemer and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah. Welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny.
Yeah, I never noticed that Mobius's design changed between the first and the second game until you turn on and off the old graphics and the new graphics. And his staff definitely changed.
Is the usual question. In your case, when might be more apt?
And the graphics got a huge upgrade.
Very well, you old snake. If you'd prefer I use my bare hands.
This is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me. I mean you no harm.
You can drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel. No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Kain, some 30 years from now.
Ah, you two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
How is it that you know my name? We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel, I know you very well. And it grieves me to see how cruelly Kain has used you. I knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately, you need not love me now to be my ally.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since passed, I'm afraid. This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
Yes, the scourge of the Circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole degenerate race. He slaughtered 6 of my fellow Guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
And you somehow survived this massacre?
I and 2 others. The Circle was devastated. Only we 3 were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
And who has slandered me so? Your malefactor, Kain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you? Our common enemy? Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Kain dead. I can help you do it.
You don't want to meddle in this, old man. I know all about your sordid little schemes, but you're simply out of your depth on this one.
You underestimate me, Raziel. Let me show you. Even now, Kain is lying in wait for you, unaware that I've snatched you out of the time stream and brought you here to me. See how he lingers at the very pillars he is destined to destroy, foolishly confident that he has eluded your grasp.
The pillars are still standing in this time.
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment of the divine force which preserves the life of our world. We who serve the pillars maintain their delicate balance, and Kain is destined to be the fulcrum upon which that balance turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision. Kain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nosgoth is in peril. You may never again be human, Raziel. But you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum. But do what you have to do. All great movements require a few few martyrs.
Alone now, I surveyed my surroundings and noticed a second time-streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how? I had not yet discovered.
So, graphically, there was a huge uptick between the first and the second game. It definitely looks better. It still is dated, but it looks a lot better than what it did. The massacre that they were talking about with all of the Guardians that got killed is actually the opening cinematic for Legacy of Kain Blood Omen, the first game in the entire series. And you actually get to watch him kill them all. Which is all fun and games. And where am I going? Through this door. Where's my Soul Reaver? Okay. Same button for that. Same attack button. Okay, crawl, crawl. What do we have for powers? Soul Reaver. See, we lost all of our sigils. But here's a map in case we need to see it. The map that's useless, that helps us not at all. And I think it's auto-saving this time. How do I use... Oh god, it's so finicky. Oh god, it's so finicky. So the telekinetic ability is not so great. How did that not kill you? Raziel does not move as fast as he used to. And people don't just die instantly, but he punches them, and this is what the souls look like now. So, the throw button, which used to be Y, now does a heavy attack, so there's a light attack and a heavy attack. Oh, you know why you can't use the Soul Reaver? Because of Mobius's orb. It's still... he's still within the area for it. That's the whole... this is why you can't use that. Are they blocking? Oh, jeez. Or dodging, I should say. Keep it to a minimum, he said. Options, sound. It's loud. Music down, sound down 1. Speech is staying. I did turn up the game volume. I should probably turn it down a little because that opening cinematic was so stupid low in volume. Here, I'll turn it down 4 points. That way we still have it at a decent height. I got a sword! If I do not target them, it's a lot easier. So you notice I have a lot more life. Canonically, Raziel got all the upgrades in the last one. Stop it. Yes! Just behead her. What is this? Do I run around things still? Please say no. Please say I don't constrict anything. So upset if I had to do some more constricting.
Throughout the stronghold, I discovered evidence of my former nobility and my life as a Sarafan priest. This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Kain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
Taste my blade,
Stop it. Stop it. They barely damaged me. Stop it. There. Did they just hit each other? Ow. Stop it. I like beheading them. That's the heavy attack does the beheading. Soul Reaver looks better. It also has a totally different sound effect. Oh, and souls in this world are totally different. I forgot about that. They're skulls.
Away from the influence of Mobius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning. If that orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade, it gave Mobius a powerful advantage over his enemies. I finally understood how Mobius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies, they were at his mercy. But why, I wondered, would the staff have any effect on the Reaver?
Hey guys. So, nothing. Okay, I don't know what that's about. This is great. You can barely see the projectile. Did it look the same before? Yeah, it's pretty much invisible. Bitch. Just punch her through the chest. I love it. Give me my Soul Reaver back. I thought I wanted to go through here. I don't think I can go through here. Does this hurt her hurt them permanently? I just know. Hi. I love how it just destroys their bodies when you hit them. Hey guys. Alright. Make a human jump into the air by using your feet in combat. Okay. Hey, they stay around a lot longer. Hi. Am I supposed to just kill everyone in here? I don't remember. What did the candles look like back then? Like candles. Honestly, the textures barely change. Look at that. It's barely making any change. Even the geometry. Like the difference between the first game and the first game and the remastered version, and then this game and the remastered version, there's a lot less that was changed. And I think that you didn't need the remastered version for Legacy of Kain 2. I think Soul Reaver worked with current computers. Because I seem to remember trying to install it and it didn't have any problems. And I think GOG's version, even back in the day, worked perfectly fine.
As I neared the stronghold's inner sanctum, a strange sensation crept over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around me. The disturbance seemed to emanate from the sanctuary's furthest chapel. As I cautiously approached, the sense of dislocation intensified with each step. So this was the tomb of the beloved King William the Just, beatified here as the martyr and catalyst of Mobius's crusade. I was reminded of Kain's journey as a fledgling vampire, how Mobius coerced him to travel back in history and assassinate William, thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among the citizens of Nosgoth. And here I discovered the source of the displacement. The Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken, apparently in the battle between William and Kain. I had not thought such a thing was possible, until, of course, Kain shattered the blade against me when he tried to strike me down. Thus, the captive spirit inhabiting the Reaver was released, and binding itself to me, became my symbiotic weapon. And so the Reaver met its former self, still imprisoned in this corporeal shell. I watched, mesmerized, as the Wraith blade uncoiled itself and snaked down the length of the physical blade. Embracing its twin, its mirror self, the Reaver's long-dormant spirit was now fully aroused. And for the first time, I felt the true presence of this other entity. Willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless host, felt my soul being leached to restore the blade. But the Reaver knew better than to destroy its host, and just as I neared the brink of oblivion, the blade released its hold on me. As I recovered, I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer merely my symbiotic weapon, but a sentient parasite competing for control.
What have you done to me, Mobius? Is this your trap?
How mine? Don't forget it was Kain who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nosgoth ready to guide and assist you, Kain laughs at our folly and revels in your dismay.
These blades, now coiled in sinister embrace, have inspired terror in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you, old man. Bound together as they are, I can only imagine what they could do to your soul's fragile shell.
Raziel, I beg you to stay your hand. This was none of my doing. I have sought only to aid you in your righteous quest.
Why, you're trembling, Mobius. Has your confidence abandoned you? You seem to have made a fatal error by leaving your precious staff behind. Is that where all your courage comes from?
Listen to me, Raziel. You don't know what you're doing. I have taken an enormous risk by appearing here before you, so defenseless, yet eager to prove my good intentions. If there's anything left of the Seraphim in you, you won't do this. While you threaten me, your true enemy eludes you.
Don't concern yourself with Kain, old man. He'll join you in hell soon enough. As you said, death comes for us all.
Yes, the Wheel of Fate demands it.
What did you say?
The Wheel of Fate. The inexorable cycle of death and rebirth to which all men are compelled. We serve the same God, Raziel. To strike me down would be striking God's own attendant. And I don't believe even you would take that risk.
What is with his tongue?
I tire of your games, Mobius. Now that I know you fear me, I needn't concern myself with you. Kain is waiting for me.
Go then, Raziel. Seek Kain out and destroy him in the name of the one God we both serve. You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent, his instrument of restoration and retribution.
My own vengeance is motivation enough.
By my soul, you almost had me, my little blue assassin. But that'll be the one and only chance you get. I assure you of that.
This is such an
I
asshole.
could now summon the blade at will, regardless of my strength.
Yes!
But once summoned, the blade's ravenous appetite could not be contained. It devoured the souls of its victims, and if I allowed it to become over-aroused, the Reaver would now turn its hunger on me.
Okay. Oh. He has a lot less life when the sword is out. Huh. Not in this spot, right? Oh no, he lost a bunch of his life. Okay. That's how he restarted, is like the soul Reaver had eaten up some of his life essence, I guess. But this also established that while the blade had been broken at one point, Raziel went, because currently we're in the past, if it wasn't clear enough, is from where we started in the game in Soul Reaver 1, Soul Reaver 2 starts by taking place in the past, and I think he will mention something about that shortly, so I probably completely ruined that little surprise if it was a surprise. I don't think it really is much of one. I don't remember how to open this door. I don't think you do open this door. I think I have to go back around a different path? I think I have to go through here. It's locked. We got in there without any problems
So
before.
this was the legendary Janos Ordrin, reputed to have been the most ancient and diabolical vampire to have ever existed. According to folklore, he lived high in the cliffs of Nosgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villagers below. His reign of terror ended when the Seraphim finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still-living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness, and was supposedly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife. The Seraphim therefore guarded it carefully, lest the heart fall into the hands of their enemies. But I wondered, could Janos Ordrin truly have been as monstrous as depicted here? Or was this merely artistic license by the Sarafan, who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy?
Hold on, guys. Yeah. He wants attention. I don't want putters. No, because he claws me when you hand him to me like that. Don't put him here. He's very unsure of himself on this table. Well, take this. Take it.
Hey, I have chores now.
Yes, you have chores. Tough luck. Putters. Putters. I'm your tiger. Oh, putters. Oh, putters. Here's a tiger. Hi, putters. Want to go down? Heard him go downstairs. Now you need to go. Yep, he's running. The Heart of Darkness that Janos Aldrin ended up mentioning that he mentioned a second ago from Janos, that's the door I have to go through, is your healing device. It's your healing item in Blood Omen. You actually get a ton of them. Which always weirded me out. It was all like the Heart of Darkness, a great artifact, and blah, 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 blah. And then you just find them like candy because they're basically like potions. It was funny, but I always found that to be like the silliest thing. Oh, you see the green. So for every swipe of it. So that's the new mechanic with the Soul Reaver in this one.
Strange how my history came full circle. This chapel, I realized, was a memorial to my former Sarafan brethren and myself.
That human
All
card.
of us martyred here. And then so cruelly profaned by Kain when he imposed his gift on our noble corpses. For the first time, I beheld the image of my Sarafan self, memorialized here among my fallen comrades. It tortured me to see how noble and pure I had been, and what a vile phantasm I had become. And a profound sense of injury, of loss and betrayal welled up in me, so overwhelming I could barely contain it. All I wanted at this moment was to find Kain and destroy him.
That lemonade's not bad, honey. It's a bad quality lemonade. Ah! Stop it! Oh my god. I can't, because it eats souls now, I can't actually heal. Let me heal. You get a lot more off of souls, at least right now you do. I like the fact that in that entire talking point, he was pointing out his brothers. They all got painted murals, and then Raziel gets a full marble statue. Duma. That was Duma. Zephon. I don't even remember Zephon. Which one was Zephon? Terrell. I don't remember Terrell. Melchiah. Rahab. Gotta go up the stairs. Even the environments look better. So old graphics, you can barely tell that I changed it. It's actually disgusting. That lemonade. Yeah, I didn't care for it too much. I might just dump it. It tastes like it comes from a powder. It's really blech. We bought a grocery store brand lemonade, and my intention was I got a whiskey that's flavored called it's fantastic, and I hate whiskey, so it's like the only thing I like. It's called Bird Dog, and it's blackberry flavored. And when I looked up online, they were all like a great cocktail mix is lemonade and the blueberry Bird Dog, and I was like, wow, that sounds actually really good. I want to try that. It has potential, but I can't tell the potential based off of the mix I did because the lemonade is so god awful bad. But yeah. It looks so similar.
I emerged, and for the first time beheld Nosgoth in its former glory. The land overflowed with abundant life and vitality, and I knew with certainty then that the world I had left behind was nothing more than the corpse of Nosgoth, a lifeless husk bled dry by the corruption of Kain's parasitic empire. This was the fragile world Kain sacrificed to preserve his own petty life and ambition, heedless of the profound cost. The sight only deepened my resolve. I sensed that the pillars lay to the northwest. If Kain truly waited to confront me there, I would not disappoint him.
Yeah, that was the whole reason why the world looks so crap in the first game, is because that's after thousands of years of Kain being basically in charge and corrupting all of nature. It looks better in every way. I think... So the funny thing is, my memory is that Legacy of Kain 1 was the better out of them. But I think Legacy of Kain 2, initially, based off of my current playing time, I think the second one might have been the better one. Drop the axe in the bottom of the lake. Just goes bink. Feed yourself 30 times. It's not hard to get that achievement. Some of these achievements are stupid easy. And Raziel has all of his basic powers that he had before. I don't know. Oh no, he does still have constricting. That's right. In the second and the third one, it said that he still has it.
I did not yet possess the means to unlock this barrier, but this enigmatic symbol was clearly the key.
I remember what this is. So you imbue the Soul Reaver with different elements in this one, and this is darkness, I think. Once you imbue it with darkness, you can shove the Soul Reaver in there, and it kind of acts like a key. Which is really funny. It's like, how did someone build all these doors and magically lock them? And the only way to open it was with an elementally infused sword that didn't exist at the time. Then again, it's all the timey-wimey stuff. And I feel like there's a way to light these.
As I passed this arcane landmark, a wisp of the Reaver's energy was drawn into the ring, illuminating it. This created a beacon of sorts in the spirit world. If ever I found myself depleted in the spectral realm, and my soul tossed on the ethereal winds, these beacons would draw me back to safety and restore me.
Yeah. It just happens to be here. I'm gonna use the restroom. I will be right back. BRB. I am back. Izik reminded me I need to do more Silent Hill because I was supposed to be doing the extra stuff. And the funny thing is I completely forgot I was doing that. Why does this look like I'm supposed to do something with it? Does he just go here and activate it? Because I turned off the activation hints. This is tiny little valley that you're stuck in. The only way out is to swim under there. This is like someone's backyard with a swimming pool. There's no other way out of here. Suwag! They take a lot more hits. Hey. They also look a little creepier than before. They're very similar. So you can still hit them with the telekinetic bolts, but you can't kill them as easily. Oh my god, Raziel. You cannot swim on the surface. I have a feeling that's the way you have to go. Giant crystal on the front. That has to do something with the telekinetic bolt is my thought. Yeah, there's another flame thing over there too. I think you're supposed to be able to light those up. Now, if I'm correct, you should be able to... I would think that Raziel would be able to still set fire to his Soul Reaver.
These ancient obelisks were mysteriously attuned to my spiritual essence. By simply touching the symbol, I could safely preserve an imprint of my soul, and thus create a milestone to which I could return when weary, and from which I could resume my journey.
Why did they have to make the save point so ridiculously over the top? Previous game you could save anywhere. This one, nah, you need these. Is that why you have this? I wonder if those are fast travel points somehow. That looks like fire? I see where to go. I was just seeing if there's anything else. But you have these. I also noticed how the game did not give you a tutorial on how to move around with him this time around. It's presumed you've played the first game.
While I had only just escaped the stronghold, I sensed that in time my journey would return me full circle to this place. Infiltrating the fortress, however, would be no small feat. The balcony that had provided my escape was now well beyond my reach, leaving this massive gateway as the only means of entry. The gates were sealed, but like the time-streaming chamber I had seen earlier, their operation was undoubtedly linked to that odd crystal mounted above the entrance.
Just the odd crystal. There. There. Oh, man. I don't think she can swim with all that armor. I need her soul. Make a human drown in a body of water achievement. Is this supposed to be a vampire? Okay. You up-resed everything and then you left this one. It's such shitty levels. Look at it. They didn't even bother to try. They didn't change the geometry in this one, really. They changed if anything, they changed the way the models looked. I think it's always the same. Like even this one. I think these are supposed to be vampires, which is why they have pointy ears. And are just impaled to walls. Hey, come here. Easy enough to take them out this way. God damn it. Come here, Missy. What the hell? I told him to go in a different direction. Instead, he like runs right into her. I want to bounce juggle someone. Don't hit me. I'm trying to get that soul. Thanks. Just juggle the soul. I wish I could just throw the sword and impale one of them again. Aw, man.
Over there.
Did that bird just... Huh. I feel like that bird is an indicator of something else. At least we have outside environments that look like they're outside now. There was a lot of outside environments in the first game. It just, the way it's built, it's really hard to tell that you're outside. I'm sad we lost all of our sigils. Worst part is I don't remember which way we came from. I think we came from the other way. Okay. No, because I saw these guys. Is this a constricting pillar? Ow! Doggo. Why? Video games introducing dog enemies. What the fuck is this?
There's one.
Stop it. Hey, where'd you come from? Come here. Mine. Give me. Is this supposed to be for representative of balance? I think so. Does that mean the pillars are up ahead? Probably. Isn't that where Kain's waiting? You have a doggo. Doggo's got stuck. I don't think those are quite dogs. Those are creepy creatures. Oh, look. Another quick save point. Can I climb up this obelisk? Probably not. Even the water looked better. It's slightly better with the remaster, but like everything in this so far, it's slightly better. Because this was the original, this is the remaster. It's a little sharper. The Ravens all turning into green smoke is not normal, I think. You don't need your head.
These vampires had nothing in common with the deranged jackals I left behind in Kain's derelict empire. They seemed to retain much of their former humanity. In this era, vampires were clearly not the uncontested predators we had been. These creatures were hunted mercilessly and oppressed. And while I still believed that vampirism was a plague and had to be wiped out, there was nothing noble or righteous in this crusade. This was simply ruthless persecution.
You have a beautiful face, miss. Yips. Come here. Stop it. Because now I need some life back. God damn it. Ow! So as long as I can keep the Soul Reaver out as long as I don't kill them with it and I use a different weapon. It's one of those. In order to open it, you have to hold it down. You let it go, it comes back. Okay, I'm just gonna stop doing that. That's just a link. Did you need to open it all the way?
Nosgoth, pristine, whole, and uncorrupted.
Oh, we're prior to
I had
them.
never beheld them in this undefiled state, yet something profound and indelible resonated within me at the sight. And there, waiting at the very heart of the pillars, was the canker that was destined to destroy them.
I know you're there, Raziel.
Mobius led me to you, Kain, though I might have guessed you'd meet me here.
And if Mobius told you I was hidden on the underside of hell, would you throw yourself into oblivion to pursue me? Mobius trawls for the ignorant and unwary, hauling his gasping prey from the streams of their destinies. Stay out of his net, Raziel.
Spare me your elaborate metaphors, Kain. I have pursued you here for one purpose. You will pay for your betrayal, and balance will thus be restored to Nosgoth.
And whose will is satisfied then? The will of Raziel or Mobius?
Would I be better manipulated by you, Kain? Now, turn and face me. The chase is over.
This isn't a chase, Raziel. We are merely passengers on the wheel of destiny, describing a perfect circle to this point. We've been brought here for a reason. I've seen the beginning and the end of our story, however, and the tale is crude and ill-conceived. We must rewrite the ending of it. You and I.
Face me, Kain. Even you shouldn't die a coward's death.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned a final request?
I recall no such courtesy from you.
Indulge me, Raziel. All I ask is that you listen. This is the sublime moment of our undoing, Raziel. The ineffable fulcrum upon which swings the entirety of our history. This is where all of Nosgoth is betrayed. In this instant, Ariel, the Balance Guardian, is murdered by dark forces bent on overthrowing the Pillars. Her spirit is just now tearing free, lost in the ether, trying to find its way here. You have already seen how she comes to haunt these Pillars.
Bound here by your refusal to die. You are the reason this land becomes diseased. As long as you remain alive, you condemn Nosgoth to an eternity of decay.
Be still, Raziel. See this. As Ariel dies, I am being born to take her place as Balance Guardian. Such is my destiny.
My God.
At the moment of my first cry, Ariel's beloved, the Guardian Nutraptor, finds her corpse. Racked with grief and tormented by suspicions of treachery, Nutraptor plunges into a madness which overflows and infects all of the Guardians who are symbiotically bound, including me. The repercussions of Ariel's assassination were expertly calculated. The entire circle descends into madness, and I am tainted at the moment of my birth, instantly rendered incapable of fulfilling the role destiny has prepared for me.
Shall I show you the same mercy you showed the rest of the Circle, then? You blithely murdered them to restore their pillars, yet your hand faltered when it came to the final sacrifice. What makes you exempt, Kain? You're merely the last man standing. Why condemn me for simply carrying out what you hadn't the courage to do yourself?
Let's drop the moral posturing, shall we? We both know there's no altruism in this pursuit. Your reckless indignation led you here. I counted on it. There's no shame in it, Raziel. Revenge is motivation enough. At least it's honest. Hate me, but do it honestly. 30 years hence, I am presented with a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin. If the coin falls one way, I sacrifice myself and thus restore the pillars. But as the last surviving vampire in Nosgoth, this would mean the annihilation of our species.
These are the two endings of the choices that you get in the Blood Omen game.
Mobius made sure of that. If the coin lands on the reverse, I refuse the sacrifice and thus doom the pillars to an eternity of collapse. Either way, the game is rigged.
We agree, then, that the pillars are crucial and must be restored.
Yes, Raziel. And that's why we've come full circle to this place.
So after all this, you make my case for me. To end this stalemate, you must die so that new Guardians can be born.
Pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Kain.
There's a third option. A monumental secret, hidden in your very presence here. But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself. Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Kain. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently so. But suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
Find and confront Kain. Achievement. Yeah, so the very first game, Blood Omen, goes over a lot of what he had said had happened in the past. You see Ariel die in the very beginning. Technically, you see her hand, but you can figure out it's her as you end up playing the game. All of that stuff ends up happening. Napraptor, or somehow whatever pillar Napraptor was in charge of, and I think he was like the mind pillar, him going insane made it even worse and affected every single Guardian. At the very end of the game, when Kain basically figures out that he is the new Guardian of Balance, he's given the option of sacrifice himself, which you can do, and you can restore balance. However, if you do that, that's not the canonical ending. The canonical ending is Kain refuses and plunges everything into darkness, refuses to take on the role.
I didn't know what
blah, blah, blah.
impulse stayed my hand, why I had so willingly allowed Kain to escape me when I had pursued him for so long. I had no reason to trust Kain after he had valued me so little, and yet I found myself intrigued by his words. I had been too cruelly used to so gullibly play his pawn, but if this world truly had secrets to divulge, I was determined to expose them.
Oh, that's right. Does he climb up here? No. So, this was one of the things I did not like about Soul Reaver 2. This is basically saying go into the spirit realm and that will open up a passage. I liked being able to discover stuff on my own in the first game. I didn't like the hand-holding that this one started doing. And again, part of what was great about the games was the story, so continuing on, moving forward, and experiencing the story was the true thing that you ended up playing them for in the end. They're good as games. They're enjoyable. The first game leaves a lot more to you to figure out than the second game does. See, turns into a ramp. Could you figure that out on your own? Probably. I do like the echo that happens now. You're petting Tiger and getting fur everywhere. Let's go through. Let's go through. I really don't need to fight the Suang. I could just jump over them. They're completely useless to me right now.
From the moment of my arrival, I had the constant and palpable sensation of being watched. Someone, it seemed, was keenly interested in my presence here.
Mm-hmm. Which is why they keep doing that.
From the look of it, this door had been sealed for centuries. I began to realize it was no mere coincidence that I found myself standing here, beneath this winged figure with blue skin and cloven hands so like my own, and bearing this unique key. And so it was with a sense of gravity and trepidation that I unsealed that ancient door and crossed the threshold.
I think if I have the Reaver as fire, I think you can do something with that, but I'm not entirely certain. I think each one has a symbol on it, and it pretty much determines what you can do with it. But you need the Reaver to be in that element to do something, I think. What the hell is this? You look like something I need to just shoot. Oh. Ugh. Hey. What is this? Is this doing anything for me? I can't tell. Can't get out. Hey. Those aren't souls. Yeah, they're not souls. Because the Reaver would be absorbing them if they were. Can I just see if I can run through here without having to fight any more of them? Because they kind of suck. They're not giving me anything. Oh, is this under the pillars?
As I entered the chamber, I sensed that it had been sealed for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. And while this room was clearly built when the pillars were erected, I knew that no human hand could have shaped this place, and that perhaps it had never been seen by human eyes. The surrounding murals depicted a winged race, their features so like my own, but beautiful, where mine were grotesque, and angelic, while mine were demonic. I tried to decipher these images. A great war, but with combatants like none I had ever seen. The pillars, raised by this winged race, who thus defeated their adversaries. The winged beings again, writhing in agony, apparently afflicted with the same bloodthirst I had so recently suffered. And throughout the chamber, inscribed everywhere, images of the Reaver itself. Was this what Kain had urged me to discover? I wondered.
Lies, Raziel. Do not be deceived.
Ah, my ancient benefactor. And I dared to hope we had parted ways forever. Silence was refreshing, but it lasted. No doubt you have a conveniently inexpressible reason for your presence here.
Do not be insolent, Raziel. I am eternally present here and everywhere, now and always. I am the still center of the turning wheel, the hub of this world's destiny.
But perhaps not so omnipotent as you'd have me believe. Your hold on me appears to be tenuous. I no longer seem to need you. Yet I'm guessing you still need me.
This impudence is unworthy of you, Raziel. Do not forget that you have a task to fulfill here. You are indebted to me.
Indebted? You would have me show gratitude for a gift I didn't ask to be bestowed. Do you forget that you forced me to inhabit this vile carcass?
I restored you to yourself, Raziel. It was Kain who destroyed you. The very enemy you've just let slip through your grasp. Do not fail me, my servant.
I serve no one. Not you, not Kain, and not your lackey Mobius.
Mobius is my good servant. I have many.
And if I tell Mobius that he's worshipping a giant squid, do you think his faith will falter?
You have grown willful, Raziel. But beware. To embrace a serpent is to invite poison into your heart. Kain is a sinuous beast. He will seduce and deceive you. You pride yourself on your free will, yet you let that degenerate deter your resolve.
I harbor no illusions about his integrity, nor anyone else's. In fact, I am beset by manipulation on all sides. I merely seek the truth.
These are the fathomless truths, Raziel. The agony of birth and death and rebirth. This is the wheel of fate, the purifying cycle which sustains all life. Vampires are an abomination, a plague which leeches this land of its spiritual strength. They obstruct the flow of life and death. their souls stagnate in their wretched corpses. But the wheel must turn. Death is inexorable and cannot be denied. Your destiny is irresistible, Raziel. You are my soul reaver, the scourge of the vampires, reaper of their apostate souls. Remain steadfast, end the vampire's parasitic curse, and restore Nosgoth. Kain's blood belongs on your hands.
Kain indeed deserves to die for condemning me to this repugnant form. But if and when I kill him, it will be for me alone to decide.
Kain destroyed you without a flicker of remorse. He tore the soul from your noble corpse, and after you had served him faithfully for 1,000 years, he discarded you in the abyss on a jealous whim. Remember your rage, Raziel. Let it guide your hand.
Well, I'm pretty sure that based off of that cinematic, where we have to go is that one tunnel that's under the water. And I like how everyone is trying to pull Raziel in different directions. That does not heal you. Don't know how I feel about a lack of, actually, there's a severe lack of souls here. What the hell? Oh god. That is not a normal Suog. Here, I'm gonna save it like this so I have full life. But yeah, everything around, it's the story is superbly interesting to me, Kain the Destroyer, basically. And it does get even better as it goes on, but like I said, we never get any resolution, which is really, really freaking sad and horrible all at once. We're gonna call it quits for now.